Hello, welcome back to On the Spot. I'm Christopher Taylor of My Astro Chris, and you're back on the spot with me. So today is August 25th, 2011, and today what we have is a chart of a 27-year-old female. And so I'm just going to take a look at a couple pieces of her chart and see what is going on now for her. So why don't we start by taking a look at her natal chart. So here it is right here. And what I want to focus on, and I'll show you the chart again, is two areas basically. It's really an entire triangle area that's connected. It's between her Sun in Pisces, you can see near the top of the chart, and her Pluto down there in Scorpio, down to the bottom right, and then it all kind of connects to this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that she has in Capricorn. So this forms a nice triangle, a nice flowing aspect. So here's a look at that chart with those circled. Okay, and so with this, I'm going to introduce what this kind of means for her in terms of her natal chart, in terms of this sort of life intention. And then we'll talk about how this area is kind of heated up right now. It's been going on for about a couple of years, and we've got a couple of years left, but there's something really exciting brewing here for her, I feel. And so just looking at this Sun trining Pluto, that Sun up in Pisces trining her Pluto in Scorpio, and how that connects with the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction up in Capricorn. And so this is a nice flowing aspect, like we said, and the the Sun Pluto trine part of that part just indicates someone who is bringing into this life a very natural ability to take charge, to be in power. Here's someone who has mastered their own empowerment on different soul journeys, okay? That's what we would say here. And so this is a skill that can easily be utilized in this life. This skill of owning her own power, okay? What does she do with that? It's endless possibilities. And so it's kind of up to her. But with the focus of that energy, focusing in on this Jupiter, Neptune, and Capricorn, well, we have someone that really, really strongly wants to make dreams a reality. That's the best way to sum it up. Capricorn's all about reality and structures and getting things in order. And Jupiter and Neptune together is like a dream, you know, like being in a dreamland. It's like Piscean in nature in a lot of ways. And she's a Pisces sun. So there's a lot of dreaming energy about this person. However, there's a focus and intention in this life to really make something concrete out of all these dreams. So instead of being that kind of Pisces that gets a reputation that you read about where it's all about daydreaming and drifting and everything else, here's a Pisces that experiences that realm, but really wants to pull it down to earth, really wants to create something concrete, really wants to do something large scale, okay? And, you know, up until this point, she's age 27 now, she may not even know what that is. She may not know what that is for a little while. But I can tell looking at her chart that this is something in her, this idea that she could do something big, that she could accomplish something big if she set her mind to it. She knows she has that natural empowerment within her, that Sun trine Pluto. And there's a sense of positivity and, you know, looking forward to the future with hope in her that can really lead the way in a lot of ways, okay? And so how this area has been hit lately and kind of what's going on now, let me show you the chart with the same three areas circled to highlight that triangle, but now we have Pluto and Jupiter highlighted as well on the outside of the chart. Here's a look at that. And so the reason I bring in Pluto and Jupiter is because these planets are making aspects to these 3 points, you know, these parts in the early Earth, early water sign kind of areas. Okay, right now Jupiter and Pluto are in a trine together. Jupiter is in Taurus, Pluto is in Capricorn, and they're forming a trine, and everyone is experiencing that trine somewhere in their chart. It just so happens that this trine is igniting this really exciting potential in her chart. And so it's something that I really want to talk about. Going back to even early 2008, we would have the inklings of an idea of, what am I here to accomplish in this world? You know, so this was 3 years ago, right around her 24th birthday or so, would have been when she awoken to this idea that she wanted to do more with her life. And this is when Pluto conjuncted her Neptune in early Capricorn. And that was a prelude, this kind of opening, awakening the dreams, awakening the potential, awakening this inward actualization, the true self coming out. And then when we get into 2009, 2010, this is when Pluto started to form sextiles to both that Sun and to her natal Pluto. And so that self-empowerment component of her got charged. It's like putting that potential battery that she had and actually charging it in a charging station. And that was kind of 2009, 2010 for this individual. Charging the empowerment, the sense that things are building. There's nothing concrete yet, but there's a real sense of the empowerment building and that stockpile of power to be there once it comes time to use it. Okay? And now what's going on here in 2011, in the spring of 2011, the period from May to July of 2011, the level of ambition in this individual would have leaped and grown by enormous amounts. You know, if everything else was just kind of dreaming and being plugged in to this point, once the spring of 2011 hit here into early summer, this is when Pluto conjuncted her Jupiter up there, and also Jupiter opposed her Pluto. So Pluto on Jupiter, Jupiter opposing Pluto. Whenever Pluto and Jupiter get together in any kind of hard aspect, which these are both hard aspects, conjunction and opposition, we're talking about major inner feelings of ambition arising. Like, get out of my way, I know what I want. You know, this real sense of self-empowerment. And since 2009, 2010 for her, what about charging in that charging station for self-empowerment? Well, this time period in 2011 certainly points to the fact that whatever is brewing in her, she's ready to do it now. Okay? And she's, you know, nothing, she doesn't want to be held back. Mercury retrograde right now that we're going through, probably very frustrating for this kind of individual, because the idea is now is the time, I got to do it now. And these are going to last and linger into 2012. Okay, so the rest of 2011, this is going on. And the sense of ambition, the sense of I got to do it now, now is the time. Once we get into the spring of 2012, now that's when a couple other players are going to start coming in. And players like the planet Uranus, which will come in and square that Jupiter that she has over there. And that's going to be a time period of maybe overestimating herself in some ways. And that's going to be spring of 2012 right on through the spring of 2013 or so. And overlapping with that, we still have the Pluto on her Jupiter. There's a real sense of just being infused with energy, infused with a go, go, go now, and seeing the positivity in the future regardless of any realities. Fortunately, by the time we get into late 2012 into 2013, that's when Saturn comes in and starts to play with these energies. And it's going to play with these energies by conjuncting Pluto and by trining the Sun and by sextiling that Neptune Jupiter. This is the time to really make things concrete. So my advice for now, dream big. Dream big. There's a sense of empowerment leading up to this point that's more or less remembering the empowerment from previous lives, previous soul experiences, than it was building it from here, from scratch. But now that it's formed and ready to be utilized, now the dreams are here, the idea of seeing the future as something very positive, very possible is here, and it's going to last again, 2011 all the way through 2012. By the time we get into the very end of 2012, the fall, and into 2013, this is when Saturn comes in. This is when the concrete bricks can be laid with regards to all of this. So it's a little bit of time here. We've got a good 18 months, I would say, 12 to 18 months anyway, of just letting the dream grow. And you don't want to start implementing before the dream is hatched. That would be my advice. Let the pregnancy continue to full term, and then it will be time. And so, end of 2012, beginning of 2013, this individual will be entering their Saturn return as well, coming up there in 2013, about age 29 or so. It's not that far off. It might sound far off for someone who's 27, but I would be patient and let the dreams grow. Don't get into any negativity, and just see where reality brings you. That's all. So that's the end of today's session on the Spot. If you are interested in a comprehensive consultation, I'm actually out of readings for 2011 for On the Spots. And in 2012 I'll come back and see if that's something that I want to continue with you. It'll be based on demand for the most part. And so if you want a comprehensive consultation with me, though, I do them over the phone, long distance, you know, in person if you're in the Sacramento area, Sacramento, California. And also if you're looking for any kind of reading dealing with your business astrology, we're looking at your business in terms of how employees get together and how they get along or don't get along, and what different paths you might want to take with your business and timing of those, etc. That's the kind of thing I can help with astrology. So contact me through my website, myastrochris.com. You can also contact me through my other website, myastroweding.com. And this is a website strictly for wedding services, bachelorette parties, you know, bridal showers, things of that nature. Also, couples counseling for any newlyweds that want to just maximize the relationship from the get-go. So that about wraps it up. Thanks again. I'm Christopher Taylor, My Astro Chris, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.